Hello and a very warm welcome to an India Today special broadcast that comes to you from the India-Pakistan border in Punjab. I'm Gaurav Sawant. Punjab in 1965 had the rare honor of becoming the graveyard of Pakistan's patent tanks. That was in Asal Uttar, where close to 100 Pakistani tanks were destroyed, decimated by India. In 2025, Punjab has the rare honor to become the graveyard of Pakistani or Turkey-made Pakistani drones, unmanned combat aerial vehicles, missiles and rockets all along the India-Pakistan border, whether in Gujarat, Rajasthan, Punjab or Jammu and Kashmir. And this gun, a Tatra truck-mounted Zu-23, an L-70, a Sam Pichora, a surface-to-air Akash missile defense system, and then of course India's S-400 Sudarshan Chakra. These were the weapons of war that ensured Pakistan was defeated once again in defensive operations. Offensive operations, of course, are fighter jets and our missiles, including the BrahMos supersonic cruise missiles. And over the course of the next 1 hour, we get you all details and individual tales of unparalleled valor in this war. But first, we get you these ground reports. This is the first gun that had a kill during operation. Now this anti-aircraft gun, it's a team of 5 that operates it, and it can rotate in every direction. This, of course, are pieces of that Fateh missile, but the Sudarshan Chakra of the air defense system was successful in neutralizing that too. With me is Lieutenant General Rajan Sherawat, the co-commander of the Rising Star Corps. Sir, congratulations on Operation Sindoor.
Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Sir, your assessment of the biggest achievement of the armed forces in Operation Sindoor.
Well, Gaurav, I think the biggest achievement is there for everybody to see. The Indian Armed Forces, I think, have established a new normal with our Western adversary and Western neighbor. I think never has it happened before in history that we have been able to hit 9 targets, and out of these 9 targets, 4 of them in the Pak, Punjab, which is the heartland, which is the center of gravity of the proxy war infrastructure that Pakistan has created. And out of these 9 targets that were hit across the international border, 7 of them were done by the Indian Army itself. Out of the 7 which were done by the Indian Army, I can state this, 2 of them were opposite the Rising Star Corps. And these, mind you, these targeting was precise, measured, non-escalatory in nature. And we had hoped that the message would be driven home loud and clear to our adversary.
And this, you're just talking about the first wave where India only targeted terror headquarters and bases in Pakistan. The fact that there were terror bases that were targeted in Pakistan's Punjab province, that's a very big signal. Is such a big signal, was it sent out the first time in this way?
Generally, I think our Pakistan was expecting that we would hit him across the line of control, which he was anticipating as we had done in maybe during the Uri surgical strikes and in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa when we had hit Balakot. But this time, we had undertaken this resolve, and will of the nation was with us to hit the terror infrastructure in the Pak heartland. And I think it is the first time it is happening that we have gone so deep and hit him where we wanted to hit. So I think the message which has gone around very loud and clear is that the Indian Armed Forces and the Indian Army, they have the will, resolve and the capacity and the military superiority and the technical know-how to hit the terror infrastructure wherever it may be.
So you can hit him in Pakistan's Punjab province. You can hit not just terrorists, but even the Pakistan army. Our army hit Pakistan army. That's that big thing wherever you wanted.
Well, to begin with, as a response to Pahalgam, we never intended to hit Pakistan army. We had only wanted to hit terror infrastructure, and that was the only aim. And we ensured that there was no collateral damage in the initial 9 strikes. Yes. But after that, we had hoped that Pakistan would see the reason and would not retaliate and hit us. But much to our dismay, and I think as expected by most of us, he hit our civilian population and some military installations also. He attempted hitting it. But I think our proactive nature, our dynamism of our deployment made sure that all these infrastructure, including 2 air bases that the Army Air Defence was able to defend very successfully. And we made sure that none of his drone strikes, none of his missile strikes came into any of our bases.
Isn't that one of the biggest success stories, sir? That Pakistan, which apparently has a lot of unmanned aerial vehicles and unmanned combat aerial vehicles, could not hit your air bases or even your sensitive military installations?
I think the results speak for themselves. Today, if any hit had taken place, I'm sure Pakistan would have taken out a satellite image of a before strike and after strike. There is none, like we have done after our strikes. There is none for Pakistan to show. And it only shows that all his drones and missiles that he fired at us, they were either handled by a soft kill mechanism or a hard kill mechanism. And this combination worked very well for us because, as I said, right from the Army headquarters downwards, the strategic guidance that I was getting, we made sure that we had thought through of all contingencies so that we could checkmate him.
And you knew that when you're hitting 9 terror camps, including, when the Indian Armed Forces were hitting Bahawalpur and Muridke for the first time ever, the army would react, the Pakistan army would react. What had you anticipated, if I may, his reaction to be?
See, we had anticipated that he might hit our air bases in the depths, our military garrisons in the depth areas, and you have gone through the Rising Star Corps area. Our garrisons are pretty forward. Oh, yeah. So we had anticipated that, and we had made our deployments accordingly to cater for this contingency. Along the IB, we had anticipated that he might target our posts, so we had plans for that. As and when he violated the ceasefire along the international border, I think as per our plans, we responded and reduced the post to ground, which you have seen for yourself as you have travelled through the Rising Star Corps. Also, certain targets were hit in operational and tactical depth to drive home again the lesson to him of the futility of escalating. And that is how I think we could manage the whole operational environment.
Battlefield transparency is a battle winning factor, and right behind me is the much talked about, though in a way a secret of the Indian Armed Forces, the Akash Tir system. It's made in India, secret, because while Akash Tir is talked about, what does it look like from within? What does it entail? Has never been seen, and that too in battle. And with me is a 3rd generation Army Air Defence officer, grandfather in Air Defence, father in Air Defence. He himself is in the Air Defence. So defending our skies is in your blood, it's in your DNA.
Yes, sir. I can say that. Proudly I can say that defending our skies is what we live by. And every time we walk out in the open, our eyes are towards the sky. We are looking for you.
We're looking for the adversary at all times and looking out for our own people. But tell me this, how does the Akash Tir system work?
Akash Tir system is a system of systems. It has integrated whatever sensors we are holding as on date in our defense forces and whatever weapons are there. We have integrated all those sensors, their feed which is coming to us, and that feed is provided in the real time to the weapon end, wherein the AD troops deployed with the weapon end, they can effectively engage, and their reaction capabilities have been many folds increased, wherein the reaction time, which earlier was quite high, has been reduced almost 10 times by, as per the induction of this Akash Tir equipment.
So tell me this, you can look at a UAV, a UCAV, a fighter jet, a rocket, a missile, every kind of incoming threat?
Anything what is getting airborne, even in my neighbor's place, and whatever is in my airspace, we have a real-time information of what is in the air, and it is identified also.
And then these are the command and control nodes from where you decide what equipment will be used to take it down.
Yes, definitely, just to ensure the cost effectiveness and the economy of effort. This is where we take that decision, where we decide what is the vector which will be utilizing for engagement, whether it will be a ammunition or a missile system.
I've seen the inside of this place and it's very, very fascinating. We would love to show it to you, but because we are right in the middle of operations. So operations are still on. There are charts, maps that are marked. There are computer screens that are marked. Own territory, enemy territory, own assets, enemy assets, and where they are, from where can they be launched. So all of this, you have it on your fingertips here.
Yes, sir, we have that, and I warn them again, please behave.
And with such a sweet smile. Now, when somebody warns the enemy with such a sweet smile, it's a lethal warning. You stay away for your own good. The Akash surface-to-air missiles. We are with the Army Air Defence with an Akash missile behind us. And the Major here, big smile on his face. What was your experience like during Operation Sindoor?
Experience was amazing. This is the first time there was seamless integration between Air Force and Army. And the way future operations are going to happen, it was a very good experience because we could do everything, we achieved everything, whatever we wanted to do.
Now, from a Zu-23 to Akash to S-400, all in the same battlefield and all, I'm told, used in the same battlefield. What kind of an experience is this, and what does it say about the nature of the battle?
Actually, the nature, if you talk about the nature of the battle, right here, this is a very important asset that we are standing. So from here, we can see deep into enemy territory. Right. So as per the capability of the equipment, we use all our assets, whatever we had. For a longer range, we had a longer range weapon, and at the terminal end, we had a Zu and L-70. I mean, amazing. Any aerial activity that is happening in my adversary's area, then we can just seamlessly see it. There is no issues.
This is how India's radars, and that is why Made in India equipment is also extremely important. Made in India radars and Made in India missiles like the Akash just behind us play a very critical role in the battlefield. आपका ऑपरेशन सिंदूर में और आकाश मिसाइल के बारे में मुझे बताइए।
ये एक हमारे लिए बहुत ही अच्छा अनुभव रहा। आज तक हम ये सब जो भी चीजें थी, ये हम बस प्रैक्टिस में, ट्रेनिंग में और सिमुलेशंस में ट्राई करते थे, बट ये पहली बार ऐसा हुआ कि पर्सनली मेरे को और हमारे बाकी सभी लोगों को कि हमें पहले लाइव टारगेट्स पे हमें देखने का मौका मिला, उन पे एंगेज करने का मौका मिला, और सभी के लिए बहुत ही अच्छा था, बहुत ही अच्छा मौका रहा हमारा।
और ये आपको लग रहा था कि हम अपने देश के लिए कुछ कर रहे हैं?
बिल्कुल सर, इस बार हमें बहुत ही प्राउड हुआ अपने आप पे कि हमें पहली बार एक ऐसा ऑपरेशन करने का मौका मिला कि हम लाइव टारगेट के ऊपर एकदम हमने उसको ट्रैक किया है, और जो भी टारगेट हमारे रडार के रेंज में थे उनको हमने पूरा डिटेक्ट करके कोशिश करी है कि उस पर हम फायर करें।
देश की रक्षा करने के लिए पहली बार मौका मिला सर सर्विस के अंदर, बहुत ही अच्छा लगा।
और कितने साल की सर्विस है?
19 साल की सर्विस हो गई सर।
क्या बात है। और कैसा अनुभव?
बहुत अच्छा अनुभव रहा सर, और लाइव ट्रेनिंग किया और टारगेटों को बहुत सारे ट्रैकिंग किया, एंगेज भी किया और उनको हॉस्टाइल भी करने की कोशिश किया।
उत्तर दक्षिण पूर्व पश्चिम पूरे देश के लोग एक साथ मिलकर देश की रक्षा कर रहे हैं यहाँ।
बिल्कुल, हम रक्षा करने के लिए यहाँ पे है, और सबसे बड़ी बात हमारे जो जितना ट्रेनिंग, जितना प्रैक्टिस, उसका कंप्लीट इम्प्लीमेंटेशन यहाँ पे हुआ।
Just for some drones costing a couple of $100 or $1,000, you wouldn't want to spend missiles that cost lakhs and lakhs of rupees. That is why those Zu-23 and this L-70 becomes the weapon of choice. Relatively inexpensive ammunition that you're making in India. Hopefully you'll also be making these guns in India. It's relatively cheaper to take down a drone that costs a couple of $1,000. And this is where you stay a step ahead of the adversary. Modernize, improve, innovate, and stay a couple of steps ahead to ensure that terrorism is no longer a low-cost option for the adversary. Now, if you have to fire a BrahMos and take down his air bases, airfields, vital assets and vital points, and most important, the prestige of the Pakistani armed forces that was devastated and decimated in Operation Sindoor. भारतीय सेना के एयर डिफेंस की L-70 गन ये जमीन से हवा में मार करने वाली गन है और आमतौर से आपकी सिखलाई तो विमानों को गिराने की होती है, इनकमिंग विमानों को, लेकिन इस बार आपका तो लक्ष्य ड्रोन थे या यूएवी थे, यूकैव?
ड्रोन, यूएवी और कैब तीनों थे साहब। इस बार
कितना कठिन था मिशन?
नहीं साहब, हमारे लिए तो था, मजा था।
मजा था?
हाँ साहब, हमने खूब एंजॉय से उनको गिराया। हमारा काम सारे है दुश्मन को अंदर नहीं आना देना, और हमने वो मुद्दा हासिल कर लिया। मेरा सर 17 साल की नौकरी में पहली बार मैंने दुश्मन के ऊपर डायरेक्ट फायर किया।
क्या बात है।
और डायरेक्ट फायर में मैंने मौका मिलते ही दुश्मन के यूएवी, कैब्स और ड्रोन को मार गिराया। और मेरे को आज एहसास हो रहा है सर, ट्रेनिंग में जो मैंने पसीना बहाया वो युद्ध काल में खून को बचाता है।
ये बात तो है
जी साहब,
ये बात तो है। अच्छा, इसमें आप काफी दूर से ही दुश्मन के ड्रोन को अंदर आते देखते, क्योंकि वो तो एक दो नहीं, वो तो कई 100 एक साथ आए।
एक साथ आते हैं सर, दूर
तो
से देखते।
आपको फिर उस समय टेंशन नहीं होता कि वो आपके ऊपर बम गिरा सकता है?
नहीं सर, हम दूर से एंगेज कर लेते हैं, क्योंकि बगल वाली गन है वो पीछे वाले को करेगा, इसमें आपस में डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हुआ जाता है हमारा।
करेक्ट।
हाँ जी सर।
तो आप एक बार में कितनी बंदूकों को टारगेट कर सकते, कितने ड्रोन को टारगेट कर सकते?
हम 1 सेकंड में 3 टारगेट को बर्बाद कर सकते हैं।
सर 17 साल में पहली बार दुश्मन के ड्रोन को गिराया, मजा आ गया। आपको, आपका ये अनुभव कैसा था?
मैं नायब शुदा सोलंकी हिम्मत सी, मैं पिछले 25 सालों से इस L-70 गन के ऊपर कार्यरत हूँ, हैंडलिंग करता हूँ, जिसके ऊपर समय समय के साथ बहुत सारे बदलाव हुए। जैसे शुरुआत के अंदर ये गन 240 राउंड पर मिनट फायर करती थी। अभी आफ्टर मॉडिफिकेशन के अंदर L-70 गन पिछले 300 राउंड पर मिनट फायर करती है। दुश्मन के हर एक जहाज और एयरक्राफ्ट, ड्रोन को मार करने में बहुत कार्यरत है।
भारतीय सेना की अचूक मार करने वाली ये ZU-23 एंटी एयरक्राफ्ट गन 1 मिनट में 2000 से ज्यादा गोलियां फायर करने में सक्षम, 23 मिलीमीटर की। और इस टीम के लीडर इस समय मेरे साथ हैं। कैसा अनुभव रहा आपका सिंदूर में?
बहुत बढ़िया अनुभव रहा। और जैसे हमें खबर मिली कि दुश्मन के ड्रोन हमारी तरफ बढ़ रहे हैं, हमने तुरंत उस पर एक्शन करते हुए और उनके ऊपर फायर किया और तुरंत उनको नेस्तनाबूद किया।
और आपके पास वो अनुभव और वो गौरव आपको हासिल है कि पहला दुश्मन का ड्रोन आप ही की टीम ने गिराया?
जी, हमें जैसे ही खबर मिली कि दुश्मन हमारी तरफ बढ़ रहा है, हमने तुरंत एक्शन किया और हमने अपने आप को सौभाग्यशाली मानते हुए हमारी पूरी डिटैचमेंट ने उस ड्रोन को पहले ही न्यूट्रलाइज किया और हम पहली डिटैचमेंट बने जो इस ड्रोन के ऊपर फायर कर सके।
क्या बात है। और 2.5 किलोमीटर दूर तक आपकी ये बंदूक फायर कर
जी सर, हमारे गोले तो एक्चुअली में 8 किलोमीटर तक जाते हैं, लेकिन हमने उसका वेट किया कि वो टारगेट हमारी रेंज में आए और जैसे हमारे रेंज में पहुंचा हमने फायर किया और उसको न्यूट्रलाइज किया।
तो 2.5 किलोमीटर दूर आपने उसको न्यूट्रलाइज कर दिया?
लगभग 2.5 से 3 किलोमीटर के बीच में था टारगेट, उसके ऊपर हमने न्यूट्रलाइज किया उसको।
अच्छा, और क्या ये भी खतरा रहता है, क्योंकि आपकी ये जो बंदूक है ये तो बहुत तेजी से फायर करती है, इसको एक बार में कितनी गोलियां निकलती हैं, कितनी जल्दी आप इसको चेंज कर पाते हैं वो अगर दुश्मन उस बीच आप पर हमला करे?
अगर हमें एक बॉक्स हम तैयार करके रखते हैं, जैसे बॉक्स हमारे रेडी रहते हैं, 5 सेकंड के अंदर हम दूसरा बॉक्स चढ़ाते हैं और तुरंत फायर में शामिल हो जाते हैं। और किसी भी टारगेट के ऊपर हम 2 से 3 सेकंड फायर कर लेते हैं, वो हमारे लिए काफी होता है। हम उसके उतने के अंदर उसको हम नेस्तनाबूद कर देते हैं
और पूरा आप ऐसे वाइप मारते हैं उसको?
क्योंकि रेट ऑफ फायर, जैसे आपने भी बताया कि रेट ऑफ फायर इसका बहुत ज्यादा है, इसकी वजह से एक छल्ला सा बन जाता है, तो जिससे दुश्मन का निकल पाना बड़ा मुश्किल होता है।
वो मौत का छल्ला होता है दुश्मन के ड्रोन्स के लिए। और मैंने न केवल कारगिल की लड़ाई में बल्कि इस ऑपरेशन में भी इन हथियारों के इस्तेमाल को देखा है। उनके कुछ वीडियोस इस समय देखे हैं, कुछ क्लासिफाइड है और कुछ नहीं। तो दुश्मन के अगर स्वॉर्म ड्रोन भी आते हैं, यानी एक के बाद एक कई ड्रोन भी आते हैं, तो जो रैपिड रेट ऑफ फायर होता है, वाइपर की तरह गोलियां निकलती हैं, तो ड्रोन पूरी तरह से ध्वस्त हो जाता है। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, आपने मुझसे बात की और ये दिखाता है कि आने वाले युद्ध में, देखिए आप ये सोचिए, करोड़ों रुपए की मिसाइल एक ड्रोन पर तो बर्बाद नहीं की जा सकती, और इस तरह के ड्रोन कई दुश्मन भेजता है। तो इस तरह की बंदूक की, चाहे वो ZU-23 हो या L-70 हो, इनकी आने वाले युद्ध में, ड्रोन वॉरफेयर में बहुत महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका है हार्ड किल में। जबकि सॉफ्ट किल में वो जो एंटी ड्रोन गन्स है वो पहले उन ड्रोन्स को जैम कर देती हैं और फिर निशाना बनाना आसान हो जाता है। The L-70 gun behind us played a very crucial role in the point defense of a strategic location that Pakistan desperately tried to target, and it is my proud privilege to be with the major, and for security reasons we unfortunately cannot name her till Army officially does. Ma'am, congratulations, you've done a stellar job in protecting that vital asset.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
And tell us more about the threat and how you engaged it.
During Operation Sindoor, I was deployed at a vital airfield, and I was commanding an air defense battery who was giving that air defense protection to that vital airfield. On the intervening night of 7th and 8th, and on 8th night as well, the enemy attempted to overwhelm our airspace with a large number of drones from multiple directions. But our L-70 guns were ready, and they roared to neutralize the enemy threat. But again, on 9th night and 10th morning, they attacked us with unmanned combat aerial vehicles, which were armed with lethal payloads, and they executed very complex maneuvers over all our section locations and tried to engage our troops. But our gunners, they held their ground, and they displayed exemplary courage in the face of the enemy, and they shoot all of them one by one. This entire operation was a resounding success, and with no damage to the assets, no casualties. And being an air defense gunners, we are proud to live up to the motto of Akashe Shatru Jahi.
Absolutely. Akashe Shatru na jahi. No enemy in the skies, and you don't permit any enemy in the sky. So, to go back, the enemy that came in, were these only drones, or was it even more lethal than unmanned combat aerial vehicles?
Yes, these were drones as well as unmanned combat aerial vehicles, and some of them were standoff weapons also. But guns were ready, and we were always prepared for this thing. That this time, as we have seen in various conflicts that are going all across the globe, we were aware that, and it was envisaged that enemy might use these drones and unmanned combat aerial vehicles. So we had refined our tactics, procedures as per that, and we have trained our troops accordingly.
And your radars and that integration of your radars, that actually is a game changer, isn't it, ma'am?
Yes, yes. As we were deployed along with the Air Force, so we got that information from Air Force as well as Army radars that what enemy assets are in the air. And we got their location, approximate direction and distance. That I passed to my troops. They executed it and they engaged the target bang on.
There's a saying in English, to be forewarned is to be forearmed, and that's exactly the advantage with India's integrated air defense command and control system, because you can see the enemy drones while they take off from their territory, and gives you even a couple of minutes more, makes all the difference between success and lack of success.
Exactly. Sometimes it's not even minutes. Sometimes it's only few seconds. But we are always ready, and as I told you that we live up to the motto of Akasha Shatru Jahi, so we will never leave the enemy.
We will never leave the enemy, and perhaps this is not just the motto of Indian Army's air defense, but of the country today. With me is the team that actually neutralized several of these drones, including one, the warhead of Yeeha drone, ex-Turkey, disposed of at so-and-so village, district Hoshiarpur in Punjab. And my proud privilege to meet with the team that detonated it, as you can see in this picture. Sir, how are you?
All good and charged up.
Good. Charged up. Sir, tell me, how challenging was the task to neutralize a Turkish drone, a Yeeha? Was this your first encounter with such a drone?
Yes, it was a first encounter with such a drone, but we are trained for the unexploded ordnance disposal as a part of our training. So we have been trained in doing that, and we have been a nominated team to do so in this general AOR.
So when these drones came in, and it was a swarm drone attack, your air defense system was able to neutralize quite a bit of those threats. Some were taken down at various levels. What can you tell us about this, the Turkish drones?
See, the quality of these Turkish drones, I don't think so. It is up to the mark, and they were not able to get into the AD umbrella, and all of them were shot down by the AD. So the remnants, what we came to know about it through a state police, that they have in an open field there's warheads lying. So our team reacted and we reached there and we demolished these in situ.
Now this is how you are detonating it in this pit. Let me also bring in that team. Sir, कैसे हैं आप?
ठीक है सर,
बढ़िया
बढ़िया सर.
कितना कठिन था इसको डेटोनेट करना?
वेरी क्रिटिकल सर.
वेरी क्रिटिकल
सर.
अच्छा, समझाइए हमें किस तरह से आपने किया. अच्छा, पहले तो ये बताइए, ये क्या इतना मोटा आपका ये कितना 1 2 3 4 5 6 परतों में है हेलमेट जो है?
ये ब्लास्टिंग इफेक्ट को रोकता है और हम जब इस क्रिटिकल काम को करने जाते हैं तो उस समय वो चांसेस रहते हैं कि अननोन चीज को अगर हम देखते हैं, अननोन एक्सप्लोसिव है तो उसको देखते हैं तो उस समय हमें डर लगता है कि वो करे, तो उस टाइम हमें ये पहन के जाना पड़ता है ताकि हम सेफ रहें.
सेफ कितने किलोग्राम का है?
ये 65 kg का है.
65 kg
टोटली वेट इसका सब 65 kg है.
और कितने घंटे आपको ऑपरेशन के दौरान इसे पहनना पड़ता है?
ऑपरेशन का अनलिमिटेड टाइमिंग है. जब तक ऑपरेशन खत्म नहीं होती तब तक हम इसको पहन के रखते हैं.
65 kg को कहीं से सांस जाने की तो कोई स्कोप ही नहीं है ताकि स्प्लिंटर आपको ना लग जाए?
नहीं, स्प्लिंटर नहीं लगता है
ना?
हाँ, कोई चांसेस नहीं है स्प्लिंटर का.
वाह. और चैलेंजिंग था आपके लिए इसको डेटोनेट करना?
बहुत चैलेंजिंग था.
लिंक कर दिया आपने?
हाँ, कर दिया साहब और हमारी टीम ने मिलकर सब कर दिया.
धन्यवाद और बहुत बहुत बधाई आपको. So this is the team that's detonated this explosive and several other explosives. Their task, of course, continues because UXO or the ordnance, unexploded ordnance, they continue to find it, and this team and similar teams are sent out to detonate them. So we are currently with the team of Army's Air Defense and the team that took down this Yeeha drone made in Turkey. And with me is the young captain who was leading that team that brought down the drone. How live was the threat? How close was it to our strategic asset?
On 10th May around 4 early in the morning, we received an early warning of a possible enemy raid at the airfield. So I rushed to the gun location and we could see an UCAV approaching the runway straight forward. So while our gunners were laying on the UCAV, we heard a series of blasts, and one of those blasts occurred just 500 meters behind the gun location. Undeterred by enemy attacks, our gunners laid on the target very accurately, and the target was shot down with minimum use of ammunition. And the wreckage of the UCAV which was shot down can be seen laid out here.
So this is that Yeeha drone made in Turkey. That's the engine, that's the UCAV, and apparently it had 10 kgs of payload of explosives. Had that detonated, what would have been the damage on ground?
If this is actually a loitering munition. If it hits the runway, it was carrying a warhead of 10 kgs. If it would have hit the runway, major damage would have occurred to the runway. But with our accurate laying on the UCAV, it was destroyed in the air itself. And we lived up to our motto, that is Akase Shatrunjai, destroying the enemy aerial activity in air itself.
And that's exactly what our warriors are doing 24/7, 365 days a year. A major reason why Pakistan's attacks did not succeed is because our offensive and defensive maneuvers were both not just a step, but several generations ahead of the adversary. With cameraman Sanjay Kumar at the Punjab border, Gaurav Sawant for India Today. India's air defense grid that ensured the Pakistani drone attack, their missiles, their unmanned combat aerial vehicles could not penetrate and target our vital assets and vital points. That right behind me is the Akash surface-to-air missile defense system. Its radars can look at the enemy more than 150 kilometers away, and it can kill an incoming threat about 25 to 30 kilometers away. There's a longer range Akash that's in the works, and with me is the Akash battery commander. Sir, how are you?
Hi, very good.
It's, very good. So I see your radars are still on very clearly. You can't trust the adversary even now in this situation.
Not at all, actually.
So how bad, how challenging is the situation right now?
The equipment that I am holding, it is indigenous and it's very sophisticated.
So with this piece of equipment, you are much more confident whenever it is. So in this Ops Sindoor, we have operated in all realms, and we have tracked all the enemy aircrafts that we have seen, and my adversary knows better than that. I mean, they'll be knowing what
Well done.
we have done.
Absolutely. The adversary knows the challenges. Let me now take you to the other system that's right here. And this is actually how Indian innovation has kept India a step ahead. So this is the ZU-23 ACAC gun or anti-aircraft gun. Now, very, very potent, very rapid rate of fire. 23 millimeters is the ammunition and can take out a target between 2.5 to 3 kilometers away. But if you notice the battery commander, sir, you're also holding an infantry weapon. That's a 6 sword that you're holding.
Yes, sir.
Why an infantry weapon with an, with a gunner officer, AAD officer?
Because in this dynamic counter UAS grid, we have been unconventionally deployed for certain tasks where we require certain weapons to increase our maximum range and lethal capacity.
Very interesting. Now let me de-jargonize it. Anti-aircraft gun usually deployed a little in the depth area, but these are mounted on 4x4 Tatra trucks taken right up to the international border for multiple roles, not just taking down an incoming threat surface to air, an anti-aircraft take out the enemy drones at 2.5 kilometers away or more, but also direct firing role, you can be deployed to take out some of his.
As of now, sir, we are employed in counter UAS grid and ready for the conventional role. But if required in future, we can undertake certain tasks on the orders of hierarchy.
Brilliant. Let me, for the benefit of our viewers, while you see that ammunition, 900 rounds of those, let me quickly take you up and show you some of this equipment. Come, I want to show you this weapon and the system that is here. Now, this anti-aircraft gun, 2.5 kilometers is the range. It's a team of 5 that operates it, and it can rotate in every direction. ये कितना 2.5 किलोमीटर दूर तक टारगेट को मार सकती है?
यस सर, 2.5 से 3 किलोमीटर दूर तक टारगेट को मार सकती है सर।
और आपके पास तो किल भी रहा है ऑप्शन सिंदूर में।
जी सर, ऑप्शन सिंदूर में हमने मकौल में था, वहाँ पे हम 3 से 4 ड्रोन गिराया है और वहाँ पे हम डिप्लॉयड था।
बहुत बहुत बधाई आपको, ड्रोन आप गिरा चुके हैं और ये टीम यहाँ पर तैनात है। इनमें जो देखिए ये जो साइट है ना, ये जो दुश्मन है उसको जो आप पर थ्रेट आ रहा है, द इनकमिंग थ्रेट कैन बी सीन सम डिस्टेंस अवे. So these soldiers are prepared. The team leader then tasks them. This Tatra truck, if you notice, it's welded, modified and welded to the chassis of this weapon, of this truck. So it can move very rapidly from one place to the other. Very mobile, very lethal and accurate. And that's the second ACAC gun deployed right there. So of 8 people simultaneously can take down the threat. And look at that. 900 rounds and more ready to kill, including the tracer. Now go to the next target. I also want to now show you the other anti-aircraft gun, and as you can see, this gun can fire once again in every direction, rotate very rapidly, fire more than 2,200 rounds simultaneously, and this is the first gun that had a kill during operations. ये जो ऑपरेशन रहा, सबसे पहला किल आप ही का था?
सर, पहला फायर हमने ओपन किया था और पहला ही ड्रोन हमने मार गिराया था सर।
तो और ये 2.5 से 3 किलोमीटर
2.5 से 3 किलोमीटर किसी भी टारगेट को मार के गिराने में सक्षम है और हमने अभी तक इस गन से 4 ड्रोन गिराए हैं।
4 ड्रोन आपने भी गिराए हैं। So couple of drones dropped by that team, couple of drones dropped by this team. Their ammunition on the standby, as you can notice here. And as we rapidly move forward, now that is the kind of systems that are used very extensively in this area. That is the L-70 gun. As warfare advances, the army was actually thinking that they would be acquiring more and more missiles. They would be moving forward, but with unmanned aerial vehicles and unmanned combat aerial vehicles, these older weapons of the 1970s are once again making a comeback. So this L-70 again has a rapid rate of fire, can rotate in every direction. It has 40 mm ammunition. It has fires very rapidly, and if you notice, locked and loaded to kill. For point defense of vital assets and vital points, airports, ammunition dumps, military garrisons, we're there for the protection of these assets. And I want you to look at this. This is the Turkish Yiha drone. A lot was spoken of this, that along with the Bayraktar TB2, These were the new drones, composite material, a lot of wood. Look at it inside. That is how they try and make it lighter. A lot of information will come out, and that's the engine. So this drone was taken down, burnt completely. There you see a part of the wing of that drone. Very light, but now destroyed. The army is not very impressed with the Turkish drones. They're not very impressed with the Chinese drones either. It's more like Uchi Dukan Phike Pakwan is a saying in Hindi. This, of course, are pieces of that Fateh missile that was fired, that rocket that was fired at a strategic target. But the Sudarshan Chakra of the air defense system was successful in neutralizing that too. So whether it's the Yeeha drones, the unmanned combat aerial vehicles, or their Fateh missiles, their Shaheen missiles, their rockets, all destroyed by India's air defense system. Imagine they even tried to target India's Golden Temple. This is the true face of Pakistan. India came together to combat Pakistan's state-sponsored radical Islamist terror and, of course, the Pakistani armed forces when they chose to attack us or tried to attack us. One of the biggest aspects was the close coordination, not just between the army, the navy and the air force, but also between the armed forces and the border security force, between the armed forces and the state administration, the superintendents of police, the district collectors, the chief ministers of various border states, the entire administration, the Indian Railways, they all work together as one unit, according to army officers I've spoken to at multiple levels. Whatever was needed was available and made available. This is India standing together. We get you more in this report.
Look carefully, because these are soldiers who have fought Operation Sindoor. We get you ground zero exclusive report speaking to men and women who have taken charge of Operation Sindoor. You've seen officers, Colonel Sophia Qureshi, you've heard Wing Commander Vyomika Singh, but here it is the soldiers on the ground who are fighting a tough battle. We'll just have a word with them. आप ये बताइए, एक tough duty, महिला होने के कारण और बाकी क्योंकि ये डिप्लॉयमेंट है, बॉर्डर्स पर है, इस बीच में ड्रोन, मिसाइल, 1971 के बाद इस तरह का जबरदस्त होना, एक अटैक पाकिस्तान की तरफ से किया गया, लेकिन मुंह तोड़ जवाब दिया गया. कैसे आप लोगों ने अपना मनोबल रखा?
मैम, हमारी सिखलाई इसी वजह से यही दी जाती है कि जब लड़ाई के मैदान में हम अपने आप को परफॉर्म कैसे करते हैं. आज जब हमारी सिखलाई को आज हमें ग्राउंड पे सही करने का समय आया, तो हमने अपनी पुलिस सिखलाई को अपने ग्राउंड पे इसको एग्जीक्यूट किया.
महिला होने के कई बार बोलते हैं कि क्या दायरा है, लेकिन आप लोग क्योंकि एक फ्रंट लाइन में हैं, सोल्जर हैं, किस तरह से देखते हैं अपनी ड्यूटी को? क्योंकि आज का जो इक्वालिटी का दौर है, कंधे से कंधा मिला के चलती है महिला जवान.
देखिए, ये मेरे लिए तो बहुत सौभाग्य की बात है कि मुझे देश की रक्षा करने का एक अवसर प्रदान हुआ है. जैसा कि मेरी सर्विस ज्यादा नहीं हुई है, ओनली 4 to 5 years हुई है, और इतने कम सर्विस में मुझे ये मौका मिला, मैं बहुत ग्रेटफुल हूँ इस चीज के लिए.
यहाँ पे हम फौज में आए हैं तो लड़ने के लिए आए हैं, जवाब देने के लिए आए हैं. जब भी टाइम मिलेगा अच्छा जवाब देंगे, उनका मनोबल डाउन करना है हमें.
These are some of the mortar shells. What we saw was concertina wires broken. And Pakistan actually was using not just projectiles, they used mortars, they also used missiles. And the word coming in is that Shaheen missile also being used. And these missiles were neutralized. These drones were neutralized.
लोग अपनी एंटायर सर्विस के दौरान इस तरह का कुछ देख नहीं पाते. हम लोग फॉर्चुनेट हैं, हम लोग अपने आप को भाग्यशाली मानते हैं कि ऐसा मौका हमको मिला.
These are the brave soldiers and these are the faces. These are the ones who've taken on the enemy and on the front line. This is where the fence really begins, and this divides India and Pakistan. And just across is what you see is the border security force, but also the Pakistani fence. And there you see that is the Pakistani bunker. The Pakistani Rangers hold that particular post. But just before the 9th night, where drones and missiles and everything was activated, Pakistan's own attempt to unleash horror was prevented and was actually retaliated effectively by the border security force. And here we are showing you, this is a very intense deployment which is done right here. It's a very tough job, no matter what the weather is, to be here 24/7 to actually keep an eye on the enemy. आप ये बताइए उस रात क्या हुआ था?
उस रात सबसे पहले 9 और 10 की रात को हमारे पास पहले 9 से 10 बजे के करीब उनके तरफ से फायरिंग आया। उसका फायरिंग से हमने जवाब दिया और उसके बाद फिर रात को 12 से 1 बजे के लगभग उनके थ्रू 81 मोटर से फायर आ गया। उसका जवाब भी हमने 81 मोटर से उनको रिप्लाई किया।
Look at this. The firing came right here, breaking this window. This is the window pane which has now been broken, and this is where what you see is all these shards of glasses. Remember, there was the thermal images, because remember, as far as Pakistan is concerned, remember, artillery shelling, mortars, this is where they try and send in infiltrators. That's what happened in J&K. But even Punjab, where Fazilka and Amritsar in 1971 saw a massive deployment, this is where an eye to an eye, this is where the entire thing really happened. These concertina wires, remember, the projectiles sent from just across Pakistan, and this is where they have launched not just rocket launchers, mortars, but also in several other places in Jammu and Kashmir, what we saw was artillery shelling. And here it seems a rocket launcher was used, and that is why a damage being done here. Remember, the electricity goes through these concertina wires. This is obviously a preventable measure to prevent any sort of intrusion into the Indian territory. Not breaking under duress, and this is where border security force have shown their military strength right here. And look at this, where the soldier is standing. This is just near the border outpost and this particular area where that tree has taken a lot of fire. And what we're trying to show you is the BSF has tactically not only maintained its strength here, but they have dominated this entire area and showing Pakistan where they cannot simply cross a certain line. And obviously, with kinetic operations still taking place, remember, Operation Sindoor is still ongoing. And this is where Border Security Force is manning 553 kilometers right here in Punjab, showing its dominance, its strength, the first line of defense right here in Punjab. With camera person Girish, this is Kamaljeet Sandhu in Punjab for India Today.
After the real-time coverage of Operation Sindoor from Uri and the forward locations, we are right now for the first time at the forward location in Kashmir, from where the Operation Sindoor was launched. We'll be showing you the assets, the weapon system, the artillery guns, the air defense guns of the Indian Army that were a part of Operation Sindoor. Not only this, from this forward location, we will also be interacting with the brave hearts who executed Operation Sindoor and much more. This is one of the artillery guns that was used in Operation Sindoor, and we are at the forward location that faces Pakistan, and the distance is just few meters from here. And this is 105 mm artillery gun that has a range of 17 kilometers. And apart from this gun, there were multiple other artillery guns that were used in Operation Sindoor. This is Ranchandi. So this is very important to understand that these guns are Ranchandi guns. This is how this operator of this gun, this gunner of the Indian Army, is looking ahead in this vision device to see and engage the target out here. And what you see here is the gun display unit. It gives you the actual picture of the target, and you see all these controls. They show you the shell, the bearing, the elevation, the method. So everything is automated. Most modern systems of war are now being used by the Indian Army. This is the artillery soldiers who are preparing to fire on the enemy targets. And after in Operation Sindoor, the 9 terror targets were destroyed, Pakistan resorted to heavy artillery firing on not only the army posts, but also the villagers out here. So this is the command post of the artillery gun battery, which communicates and gives command to the personnel who are firing the RT guns. So they not only set the targets, they take the commands, and then they communicate to the soldiers who are firing these artillery guns. So this is the integral part of artillery's battery.
We had used the same drills which we had practiced before, and during the operation we put it into effect to target the enemy launch pads in the Lipa and the Neelam Valley.
We are right now at another forward locations at the line of control, and we can see that the ridges, what you see behind me, are line of control and the Pakistan's ridges. And here at these locations, there are the Army's air defense guns that have been installed here. This is the L-70 anti-aircraft gun, which is developed originally by Sweden's Bofors and now manufactured in India under license. So this is the gun which can fire 240 to 330 rounds per minute up to a range of 4 kilometers. And during Operation Sindoor, this has been operational. It has successfully neutralized all the threat that were coming towards India. And you can see the pinpoint accuracy with which it engages the target and neutralizes it is the success of Operation Sindoor. What we see behind us is the Akash Tir system, which has been deployed in the Operation Sindoor, and this has been integrating all the feed that was detected throughout Operation Sindoor by all the radars, and from here that was being forwarded at all the other locations so that all the aerial targets could be neutralized effectively.
Basically, it collates the surveillance feed of all this theater, presents on a screen, and enhances the situational awareness of the commander who's sitting here. So he is able to make a quick decision. This equipment is now battle tested, and it has performed exceptionally well in battlefield conditions.
What you see is one of the forward locations and a post of the Indian Army, from where the Pakistani posts are not only visible, but they are also being neutralized using special weapon systems. So this is the most forward army position in the Lipa Valley sector, where India has neutralized multiple terror outfits across the line of control.
इंडियन आर्मी अत्याधुनिक हवाई और जमीनी सर्वेलेंस आलों से लैस है, जिसकी मदद से हम दिन और रात हर मौसम में लाइन ऑफ कंट्रोल पर चील की नजर रखे हुए हैं। पेट्रोलिंग और एम्बुशेस से हम ये सुनिश्चित करते हैं कि लाइन ऑफ कंट्रोल के पार किसी भी प्रकार की घुसपैठ ना हो पाए।
What you're seeing behind me is the fence check drill of the Indian Army that's taking place here in one of the most forward locations. And this is the location which is just 100 meters away if we talk about the aerial distance. So these are the weapon systems. You can see the mortars out here. the gun systems which are being carried out by these soldiers. What you see here is a rocket launcher here, which is carried by the soldiers of the Indian Army along the line of control. And they have a range that can effectively target any kind of threat that is coming from Pakistan's side. And these has been very effective during Operation Sindoor, where Pakistan was trying to launch attacks on these army positions. It was trying not only shelling, but small arms firing, and also it was firing other weapon systems that were being neutralized using these rocket launchers from India. So Pakistan is now in a severe damage position on this location, across this location, because these soldiers have been firing aggressively after Operation Sindoor when Pakistan tried to attack these positions on the Indian side. So this is one of the very sensitive zones at the line of control right now, and you see the modern weapon systems that our Indian Army soldiers are carrying, and they use these weapons in Operation Sindoor. This is Shivani Sharma with camera person Alok Kumar Das for India Today from Line of Control.
India came together to defeat Pakistan's state-sponsored radical Islamist terror, the military terror network in Pakistan, not just Jaish-e-Mohammed, Hizbul Mujahideen, Lashkar-e-Taiba, and that so-called terror, the resistance front, a representative or a front of the Lashkar-e-Taiba, but even the Pakistan armed forces. And this is because the army, the navy, the air force, the border security force, the central armed police forces, the civil administration, the government and the masses, they worked as one team. This is India's strength, India first. That is all I have for you on this India Today special broadcast. Many thanks for watching. News and updates continue on India Today. Stay with us.